Welcome to the Effective Evaluator Podcast, where we are dedicated to helping you develop your evaluation skills. I am your host, Lisa Branch. Joining me today is my friend and mentor, Christina Cruz. In today's episode, we will be starting with the foundational reasons why evaluation is such an integral part of Toastmasters and what makes it such a valuable skill for everyone to develop. Thanks for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, Lisa.
Excellent. Well, I would love for us to answer two big questions in today's episode, the why and the who. In other episodes, we'll cover the questions of what we evaluate and how to do so effectively and creatively. To begin, can you tell us why we evaluate and why it should matter to us to develop the skill?
You know, of all the parts of Toastmasters, the evaluation is the part that attracted me and continues to attract me because it's where we learn. As the evaluator, we have lots to learn. And as a speaker receiving the feedback, it is unbelievable what a difference immediate feedback can do for the way we present.
One of the things that I was reminded of the other day is as we evaluate people, what we're trying to do is to encourage them and to motivate them to learn from what they're already doing well and kind of become more aware of areas that they can improve on and then be able to focus on that areas and become even better than what they already are. And so I see the evaluation as a way of providing that kind of feedback so that people can continue to grow and again have that a little bit more of that awareness of what they're doing or what they're saying or how they're coming across.
I think a lot of people join Toastmasters or join a group for how do I learn to be a better speaker because they're afraid. They don't know what looks right. They don't know how to get it right. And so the evaluator role that we have in our Toastmaster meetings and in our program actually validates that I got something right. And in doing that, the evaluator then provides confidence. And once we have confidence as a speaker, then we can carry forward. And I think that's probably the biggest gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that we're better speakers or we're better leaders. It's that we're more confident contributors to society. And I think that's the magic gift that the evaluator gives. The ability to encourage, mentor, coach, teach somebody else to be better at something is a true gift. And it actually makes my heart swell when I see somebody else actually take my advice or the guidance that I've been given and I've shared and stand more firmly, use their voice more wisely, and actually take that ability to speak well to convince an audience to do whatever it is their reason for speaking is.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that people are coming and learning to feel more confident, the fact that we as a community can come together and build up someone else's confidence by encouraging them and supporting them and helping them learn things. I mean, that's an incredible feeling already, knowing that we have that kind of ability to build into other people's lives. That's fantastic.
But it is a skill that we can take into the workplace, into our other communities, organizations, and even into our families.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I first started, I was in awe that somebody could listen to a 5-minute speech and give back so much. We call it now gold. How did you hear that? How did you know that? But as we practice and as we see and we listen to each other more, we get to realize this is what makes a good opening. This what is valuable in trying to set up a map or a roadway for your audience to be able to understand you. And a good conclusion doesn't leave your audience hanging. It probably calls them to action. But I'll always say to people, if you want to turbo learn, you got to turbo do. You got to get in and try it.
And I love that Toastmasters provides a really safe and welcoming environment that if you've never done this before, you have a whole room full of people who want to help you, who want to support you and see you succeed. And then they can give you feedback even on, if you're the one giving feedback, right? We give feedback to the evaluator on how they could even be more effective. Let's take this skill out into the real world. Where do you see some of the biggest benefits for people to develop their evaluation skills?
The obvious one for adults and for youth as well is a job performance review. throughout my experience, whether I was a sports coach, whether I was a academic coach, whether I was a parent or a relative in a family setting, and I even at church or at community meetings, having those skills that have been taught and experienced and practiced at Toastmasters always, always come through. There's probably not a week where I don't think, "Oof, glad I know what this is like." So it transfers into so many ways. And I think ultimately our success in life or our happiness or joy that we find is in our relationships. And our relationships are strong when our communication works.
I just have to share that one of the reasons when I started Toastmasters and I completed a bunch of projects and I learned as a speaker, but one of the things that kept me coming back as a mom who works from home, but doesn't really get a lot of accolades from the kids at that stage in life. One of the things that kept me coming back was because, man, my Toastmaster friends had such great things to say about me.
So true.
They appreciated me. They told me the things that I was doing well. And you know what? It's a good feeling. Well, Christina, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing with us your expertise and experiences with evaluations. And I hope that this conversation inspires our audience to check out Toastmasters or sign up to be a speech evaluator at their next meeting as they continue their journey to becoming a more effective evaluator.